Hey guys, what a beautiful day to be out walking North Carolina property today. Today I want to talk about pricing and appraisals. In the recent past here, in the last few months, we're having trouble with so-called appraisals. And let me explain that. So what is happening is lending institutions are getting extremely conservative because of the lending climate. There is trillions of dollars out that the banks have lended out to clients, and they're concerned with what the market is currently doing. So what's happening is we're using factual data to price properties. We don't make the prices up. They're driven by factual data. The banks are not hiring appraisers. They're using internal appraisers. So they're using someone who works for the bank. Some of those lending institutions will only use a comp if they have lended on that property. I don't even know how that's even legal. So basically they're not using an open market. They're using only properties they lended money on. Well, that keeps it very conservative, as you would suspect. Here last week, we had a property that went under contract. I'm gonna use some even numbers. It's under contract for $440,000. Well, the buyer's agent calls us and says, hey, the appraisal was $69,000 under what we're under contract, so my buyer would like a discount of $40,000. And I said, really? How about send me that appraiser or the appraisal? So she sends it over. It's not an official appraisal. It's an in-house appraisal done by that lender. And the first thing I see on page 1 on their so-called appraisal is they used Zillow as a place to get numbers from. Well, are you joking? So immediately when I saw that, I throw it out. That appraisal means nothing to me. So we spoke with our seller, made my suggestion that we should stick at the price we're at because we have factual sold data saying that this property is worth $440,000. And that if this buyer doesn't want to proceed, we have several others that are ready to proceed and buy the property for the price that they're under contract for, or even more. So we told that buyer's agent, your buyer can either proceed to closing at the price they agreed to, or please send the termination over because we've got other buyers that are ready to move forward. So here's what's happening. The lending institutions are being extremely conservative to protect their best interest. They are not looking after what is best for their client. So this fella who found this ultimate property, who he's been looking for it, dream property, he was gonna lose this property because of his lender. He was gonna lose a dream property because the lender said it's not worth what you've offered to pay for it. Fortunately for that buyer, they had enough cash to cover it. So if you'll remember back, if you were in the real estate market during COVID, the Real Estate Commission created a form that said, I realize that my property may not appraise for what I've offered, but I have the cash and the means to continue on and close it, even if it doesn't appraise. So what we're gonna have to do, because the lending institutions have gotten so conservative and they're looking out for their best interest and not yours, is we're gonna have to start using those COVID era forms again so that our sellers are protected and that buyers understand that the lending institution or the bank may say it's not worth what you've offered for it, but you can afford to move forward and close even if it doesn't appraise. So before you start working with a lender, ask the questions. Make sure they're looking after your best interest and not theirs. So if you've got any real estate questions at all, if there's anything we can explain to you about how the market's functioning right now, how lending institutions are acting right now, and what's going on in the marketplace, give us a call at the office today or visit us at whitetailproperties.com.